Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mark and today we are on day 21 of our jar thing and I'm excited because only 10 days left. So let's see what we have for this day, and it is voila a marsupial. Okay, let's get started. But before we do, as always, I ask you to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, so that YouTube recommends this channel to other people out there, and hit the bell to get notified as well. To be very helpful for the channel, and I thank you very much. Let's get to the video. Okay, so here's my reference board today. I want to draw this guy, but I want to see if I can mimic this style of cute animal things. I think that's 3D if I am not mistaken, but I'll see what I can do. So yes, let's get ready for that. So here we are in Krita. I have changed a few things around with the UI. I was playing around with it in the morning, and that's why I'm so late again. I'm accessing my brushes from up here, so that at least we have more space on the screen. So it's more or less the same thing. My gosh, same thing, but up here. So we have all this free real estate. It's free real estate. So let me just sketch in the animal, starting with the head. Let's do a big circle. Start with the shapes today, and then another big circle for this ear, another one for that one, and maybe let's do that. Come up here, change this. This is a square at the front, and a bit of a circle-y thing down here. And we have a square shape for this arm, and a triangular shape for this other part of the arm. And then the koala has weird hands. It's two thumbs and 3 fingers. Did you guys know that almost all koalas have chlamydia? Now you know. So don't get too close to one, you end up with an STD. Imagine explaining how you got chlamydia. I was holding a koala. You were just holding it. Just holding it. Right. How are you holding? Are you holding it with some parts of your body? So here's my sketch. I don't know if I want to include this other hand and just include something here. Also, my tree is far away from this thing. Let's just move it just to be close here. Then let's probably move this hand somewhere there, and then this part somewhere here. And probably for the tree should start from here. That's fine, something like that. And this other tree is behind the ear, and then something like so. So I really don't know how this will turn out today. And I think the advantage of you as a viewer is you will already know what we're doing, because final result is the thumbnail, of course. And I envy you because I don't know what the final picture will look like, at least not yet. I want it to look like those cute doll-like things, but we'll see. I do know a bit of this thing they call shape language, in that I know round shapes make things look cuter, and I know that big eyes make things look cute as well. So I'm gonna try a bit of that. Still stick to our sketch layer. Can start with the mouth, chin, and make the nose large. I'm doing this to help me with the sphereness of the koala's head. Also to know where to place the eyes in perspective. I'm going to make the eyes a bit large. And now on my second layer, we can look for this brush that I love. Is it 2B? We can start like sharpening the shape. So guys, have you been? I've been good, thank you very much. It's a lovely Monday afternoon, just turned noon, and so far we've had lovely weather. I have eaten, I have worked out in my living room, I have inhaled a bit of dust from somewhere, so my nose is kind of stuffy, but just a bit, nothing to worry about. It'll be over soon. Fun fact, I have been awake for 8 hours now, and I'm just now starting to draw. So I did do some reading, just a bit of reading before this day begins. The day usually begins with a drawing for YouTube, and then of course editing, and after editing more art study. But the good thing about this challenge is it gives me something, at least I know for an hour each day I will have drawn something, like if I wasn't accountable for anything. You know, those days when you feel lazy, you don't want to do anything. Yeah, so as a self-taught person, I have many of those days because there's so much I want to learn, and sometimes I feel like there's so little time to learn everything, and some days I get overwhelmed and just sleep, shut down, unfortunately. So I don't know. Let me know if you struggle with that, and if you've maybe overcome that. I'd like to know how you did it. Let me know in the comments below. And today is the day I discovered that koalas have vertical slit eyes like goats. Isn't that something? Quite something. And horses? Do horses have a vertical slit? I'm not sure. I should check. Not going to, but I should. I know goats do, and it's very prominent. Cows also, if I'm not wrong. So I don't know if I will indicate the vertical slit. The vertical slit seems to not be as cute as we want our koala to be today. So I'm not quite sure if that will be something we include. But we'll see. We will see. To all the new guys, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining our art class. The very inexperienced teacher knows a lot about a lot. You know who knows a little about a lot? Yeah, I know many things. Many things. Some useful, mostly not useful, but I know it. For example, what, Mark? Can't say. Just realized the thing I was about to say is kind of crass, so I'm not going to say it. But here's something. Did you know the cartoons are originally made for adults? They used to be shown in theaters before the start of major movies. They had very adult themes, and then after they were very vulgar back in the day. Excuse me while I blow my nose. So they're very vulgar back in the day, and then some society was formed to regulate cartoons. This society told them what kind of cartoons were acceptable and what kind weren't. And after those regulations were passed, we started having less adult themed cartoons for a while, and we had the rise of animation as people know it now. But then in the 80s or the 90s, we had the formation, you know what I'm saying, the Cartoon Network company or studios premiered Adult Swim, which had like those adult cartoons that you know and love. I don't know which ones they had in the 80s, but the ones I like were something like the Boondocks, some Simpsons episodes, and some Family Guy episodes. I'm not really into Family Guy now, but what I really like is something like Invincible. Yeah. Superhero cartoons that aren't afraid to be bloody. So if you didn't know, cartoons are not for children. It goes against what people usually say, that cartoons were made for children. Well, no, they were not. Cartoons of adults. And you'll know this when probably you watch cartoons from your childhood, and you'll see a staggering amount of adult jokes inside favorite episodes that probably as a child you were not able to decipher. But on a second viewing, you're like, oh my gosh, I watched this with my father. Yeah, so now you know. And now we have our koala over here, and probably it's time to paint this thing. And which brush shall we use today? Let's go to our painting brushes. I'm going to use this flat rough, going into the gray blues, blue grays, and a layer underneath. We do the thing. So this is going to be my koala layer. I almost said kangaroo layer, and I think we have a kangaroo in the jar, so there's that. Distinctly remember writing kangaroo. Then in a layer below this, we'll do the wood thing for the tree, and another layer underneath we'll do some greens and some yellows, some greens and yellows for the vegetation back there. Down here it's almost white, a bit of green here, a bit of yellow there, dark green, light green, but it's more yellow. You can come here and look for a blend brush, kind of blend all this together. It's a bit slow, as Robert in the comments told me that the larger the brush, the slower this thing Krita does this, but I hope they're fixing it. I'm currently using the 5.2 second beta version, which I just got this morning. So they're experimenting whether things are good or not. Okay. So we have our colors, color picks. Now, how do we make this guy cute? Or indeed, do I make this person cutie pie? So I'm locking every layer that I have except the painting layer. Then I think I'm going to zoom in, and with a dark browny color, we start with the eye. Then a lighter brown color, we do eyelid for this area just outside the eye. You can start there. And then with a darker color, can come in, try and do all this, blend it a bit. I'm trying not to worry about this because it's just like the first 10 minutes of the drawing, probably. Actually, it's the first 20 minutes. I want it to be a browny gray. I'm going to do that to the nose. And then we have this boundary. Then of course we have the black to define the nostrils. And I think this brush is blending without my permission. So what I might do, look for another one. Let's see if this blends. Yeah, these are also blending. So it seems I'll have to do the thing again. The best brush in the world. Soft round, or probably not. I don't want to overly rely on this one. So let me think. Let me pause this recording and think for a bit, and I'll be back. Hey, not sure if this is the right call, but I will continue. I'll proceed as we were using the brush we were using, and we'll see what happens. This is a flat rough. Let's use the large smooth and we'll see what happens. Let's pretend we're oil painters today and do oil painty things. So I'm going to merge these two, merge those two, Control J them for absolutely no reason, because I'm finding out I don't really care about the sketch. So have that. Let me just clean up a bit, clean this up, erase some of this. Maybe we can hold the erasure for a while. Let's do it because we're here already. So hopefully this turns out okay. Again, you have the benefit of knowing what happens because of the thumbnail, and I envy you very, very much. So I think what I'm going to do is just add in these bits of color that I'm seeing onto our koala bear, which isn't really a bear. And let's go dark with this. We'll call this our local color. I'm going to erase some of these places a bit towards the end. So currently I'm just thinking of where the forms meet, what I have to do with those shadows a bit, but not really, because we're going to do all that in some adjustment layers. And then, so technically looking at the shapes of my reference, still haven't begun with the style thing. Darken this area just a bit so that it's not as white, but it's also not as dark as the rest of him. And then the drastic thing happens where I merge the sketch and the painting. Now the fun begins. Let's name this koala base. And on a layer on top of that, we can do our things. Let's start with the nose. Paint it a cool, almost blue color at the top of that. And then a darker. So I'm just pressing K on my keyboard to get a darker value of that. The bottom of that nose. And this fur, the sides are a bit dark. It's a bit dark for the inside of the nostril. So I did that dark line so that I can thin it out like this, something like so. I decrease my brush so I don't mess with that. I need to keep this a bit spherical and a bit samey like the other side, because our light should be doing the same thing, both eyes. So I'm keeping my left finger on my left hand on the keyboard so I can do these shortcut things like really fast, and also get used to using the shortcuts. I have changed, well, not really changed, but I have added a shortcut to my Krita because this is to change my brush size. So my finger is on the F key because there's another program out there that I'm learning that to change your brush you need to get used to doing it with the F key. Though I can change with the bracket keys, that's really just a step-by-step change, and we want drastic changes to our brush size. So that's what's happening there. I'm going to go really dark and go down a bit to do this. We haven't mirrored today, which might be a mistake, but we'll see what comes out of that. Other finger on my thumb is on the X key. So when you have two competing colors, you can change them really quick. Let's look at this from afar. Mirror it. Not bad. Still looks fine. But I will have to move on pretty soon on the face. Kind of looks like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. Okay, let's do this for the ear. Let's do this. Get some little darkness at the neck area. I think I missed it. Let's do this. Need to get much dark. So I'll go to the base and put in this gray color and probably add a bit of red beneath there. Let me do this ear before we move on to the body so that we are done with the face of our koala. We can add this white fringe at the edge of the face, and this is bothering me a bit, so we try to fix it before we move lower. So I think that's enough for there. This might be a long video. Let's do the hands. I'm going to join those because we are reckless over here. Join those, paint now on top of this. So in my reference, I'm not seeing any claws, though I know they're there because I can't see them, neither will you. So here I'm still thinking of all these forms as round forms, trying to think in 3D. If that's at all even possible, so that I can shade these things like they are taking up space and not just a flat surface. It's kind of working. They look sausagey, the hands, and I'm liking this brush because it's giving a bit of furriness, fuzziness. So now here in the body, I'm getting rid of that pencil texture we used to find our forms, and we can go a bit dark in some of these areas. Oh, excuse me. That's what we have so far, and I think I'm tempted to be doing these things. We'll be back with the shadows. Mark. Stop it. Something I might do if I get tired, which I hope I will not, is eventually I might want to crop this. There's no rule saying I have to draw the entire thing. Be cool if I did, but there's no rule actually saying that. So if I get tired or if time gets away from me, I'm seeing I only have 20-ish minutes left before the next thing I'm supposed to do is supposed to be done, which means I have like 10 minutes left in this drawing. So because of that, let me try and define some of these things just a little bit. While we're doing this, and if you made it this far, if you don't mind, kindly let me know why this is true in the English language. Hold on. Terror means fear, like extreme fear. Horror means something scary. Terrible means something bad, something like bad. Horrible, similar, means something bad. Horrific also means something bad, but terrific means something good. So what happened there? What did terrific do to merit such a good definition? Terror, bad. Horror, bad. Terrible, bad. Horrible, bad. Terrific, good. Horrific, still bad. So I don't understand. Someone tell me why that is so. I think I'm going to leave it at this. Join these koala layers, and then probably do our highlights yet again. The eye, a bit less white, a bit less opacity, something like this. And probably on the nose, we should have something shiny, though a koala's nose is basically matte finish. So we have that. Then I'm going to join the koala in a group, duplicate this group, hide the original, merge this one. And then here we have a clipping group. So we add our shadows using the multiply, and I want to use, this should be normal, I want to use the soft brush. So we have soft shadows. So multiply, I'm going into my, let's use greens, that our thing reflects, our shadows have a hint of green. Maybe increase the opacity a bit, and we can go into the shadow areas. Shadow underneath there, underneath the eyes here, it's shadow, full of shadow, and here of course have some contact shadows for the tree itself is in shadow. Let's do that, making sure the area closest to the animal is darker, much dark than this tree, of course, and it has some shadows inside these folds and something under the chin, just something small to the brow, bottom of the eye, and I think that's enough. Probably let's think about just a hint of lights. So in a new layer with overlay, and let's use the sky color, a bit of blue, still with a soft round. That's too blue, something like this. So if the light's coming from the top, this area should be in light, same as this area, the eye, and the nose, top of the head, and something small here. Not much going on, but still some light. This arm and maybe the shoulder before it descends into shadow, and of course for the brow. So I don't know if that's cute enough, but that's where we're leaving this recording today. I hope you enjoy the video. Let me save this before things happen. This has been day 21 of drawing animals from a jar in Krita. If you enjoyed this video, kindly give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and force your friends to subscribe because you have the power to do that. You are so powerful, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Yeah, we will draw one of the other things in here. I should mention, for anyone who's joining us who's new, in the jar there's one blank piece of paper with nothing written on it. So I'm taking suggestions for what to do if we should ever pick up that piece of paper. So let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, have a great day. Yeah, 2 thumbs up. Bye-bye.